Yo, testing 1, 2. Episode 46 of the Matt Gamble podcast. First off, massive shout out to everyone for all the people that commented and messaged and reshared last week's pod. Um, got a fair bit of traction from that, and I appreciate that. You know, if this stuff vibes with you, would love if you shared it. And it was nice. Got some comments, got some feedback, got some stuff that come up for some people, and I think that's for me the purpose of doing these pods is bringing my stuff up, which allow bringing my stuff up and talking about looking at my stuff and sort of unpacking it, which gives people an opportunity to do it themselves. I think subconsciously that's what's happening with these podcasts. That's why I sort of don't really have them scheduled in, because it's like a feeling you got to be in this energy to want to look at your stuff and be open and vulnerable enough to express your stuff as to what's going on. You know, if I'm going to get on here and read a transcript about what I thought about talking about, it's just not going to come out authentic. And that's happened from time to time. There's been some pods that I've done and I've got on as the podcaster, you could call it, that identity, and tried to express a message that just was sort of scripted in my mind, and then I just know sooner or later it's like, you're not being authentic, you're not being your true self, and it's just like, and then I just stop it. So, you know, every time I come on these pods, I check in with myself and just check my intention, where I'm at, because I can't come on here anything else but in any other form but me, because that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about helping people move through whatever they're moving through, and just giving people an opportunity to look at their own stuff and speak my truth. That's all I can do. That's all we can all do, is speak our truth as to what's going on. You know, it's very easy for us to get caught up in 1,000 different things, because this world just comes at us at 1,000 miles an hour. And it's about being able to slow down and, you know, see the beauty in life and see what's coming up. And, something that is really raw, because it just happened probably half an hour ago as I was driving home, and, I just got emotional. I got a little bit teary, and it was nice. It was it's good every now and then just to feel that. And what it was coming through was how much Janae loves me and the girls. It just come through, and I just did a hit class of the endorphins and the dopamine's 1,000 miles an hour, and it just come through of like how addictive and contagious Janae's energy is, and how much she just loves us. Like, it was just like, I just felt it, and it was such a beautiful feeling, a good way to start the day, and just how much she loves the girls, and you can just see from 1,000 miles an hour that they feel it too. So, it was a nice feeling that come through, and, you know, straight away it was, I hope I'm doing my best to be able to give that back to her, because the love, the care, and the energy she gives all us is just beyond words. And so she'll probably hear this. So I was going to send her a message, but here's the message. She'll hear it on here. But that's what come through for me this morning. And like, you know, this world we live in, you know, it's like my daughter's 4 now, and she starts pre-K next week, and that was sort of what stemmed through, like, you know, we're going to drop her off at school next Tuesday, and the same thing, that emotion come up of like where's, like, it's crazy how time just moves, you know. And I always say to her, like, why can't you stay little? She's like, Dad, I want to get big. And I'm like, oh. She goes, soon I'm going to be 5 and I'm going to be really big. And I'm like, oh, Baba, But, you know, the thing for me, which I'm very grateful for, is my awareness and being on this self-development journey has allowed me to become as present as possible, because that's what it's about. And so with that being said, I feel like me and Indy have been together for 25, 30 years. Maybe we've lived lifetimes together. I don't know, but she's only 4.5. And for me, I just feel like we've lived 20, 30 years together, which is such a beautiful feeling to know that, you know, I've got, well, the rest of my life to be with this beautiful little girl and watch her move through everything that she's going to move through. And so that sort of stemmed through. And then obviously the love thing from Janae for me and the girls come through as well. And yeah, just the little things in life, like that type of stuff, you know. That's what happened this morning for me. Yesterday was a bit of a frustrating day because I've been very committed to my no socials till midday rule. And yesterday I broke it at 10 a.m. and it was such a fucking, I watched myself go on it. And it's just such a quick habit, you know, to click socials, you know, and it's mainly Instagram. Facebook, for me, just fucking, there's 1,000 different shit. Like, it's, you check your notifications, get off, but Instagram's the one that ropes me in with stories and commenting back, sharing, like replying to DMs and all that stuff. So it got me yesterday, and, you know, I wasn't too hard on myself, but I noticed myself get into that feeling of like, now this is why you don't go on till midday. You know, you give yourself from, wake up anywhere between 4 and 6, those 6 to 8 hours to not be on social media and worry about what anyone else is doing. Just focus on yourself. And then from midday onwards, check what you got to check. And because most afternoons I have work, it's good because it only gives me that gap between, say, 12 and 3, and then again 7 onwards before I get home, and then throw the phone away and be present with the girls to check what's going on and stay updated and stuff. So yeah, yesterday was a little bit of a frustrating day. Just felt frustrated in myself, and it really shined, and it really showed me that, you know, how important it is to give yourself that nice gap between you and your phone. Because I did a reel last night, I think it's from last week's pod, it was from last week's pod actually, yeah. That 90% of our problems come from our phone. And it's so true. It's like the ego, that little voice we talk about, when you're on these devices and you're looking at things, it comes through very softly, and you don't even notice it because you're not being present, because you're scrolling at 1,000 miles an hour, checking the next story and looking for the next dopamine hit. That little ego voice comes in, and that's where a lot of stuff gets wrapped up for you. Like, you know, how many times that you've sent someone a message and then they've reshared a story and you're like, oh, they haven't replied to me. And it's like, are they sitting there hating you, or they haven't gotten around to reply to you yet? Like, gives a fuck, you know? But the ego will tell you otherwise. It's like, yeah, well, they probably don't care about you. They probably don't care about your response. They're online. Like, you know, guarantee so many relationship problems would come from social media as well, you know? And it's a thing that you use as a tool. You know, it's not your whole life. And I understand that business is on there, work is on there, you know, like I currently run 6 Instagrams. Like, I get it. You know, I'm resharing, I'm posting, I'm doing all that shit. But the shit's always going to be there. The DM's always going to be there. The like of the story is always going to be there, whatever you have. So it's about you putting yourself in a position to not be so caught up in it. So now when I check it at midday, sometimes I wait till like 1 o'clock because I'm really not even that fucking interested. And then when I do check it, I'm on there for like 10 minutes. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't really miss anything. But for the first couple days, when you start this process of not going on till midday, the ego will tell you like, fuck, what's going on? Breaking news. Have we missed anything? Fuck, I can't wait to get on midday. And then you get to this place where you're just enjoying the moment and enjoying whatever's happening in this real world, not that cyber world. And you start to enjoy whatever's coming up in the real world. You know, for me, I remember I started this midday thing before I went to the States, and I had this euphoric week. Like, it was like crazy. It was like I seen the girls differently. Like, it was like this crazy emotional thing I was moving through. And it was because the only thing I changed was I wasn't going on socials till midday. And I stayed consistent, and I built building blocks and stayed disciplined. And it was like 4 days in a row, and it was like fucking like I had it on lock, you know. And when I checked it, it was like I was watching it was like I was above myself, watching myself check my phone, if that makes sense. So it was like I was watching myself like a movie, check my phone, and I realized that I was on it for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time max. And then I was like, I'll go back to the real moment in this world. But I completely understand it's good for tasks. 90% of our business comes from social media. So I'm not dissing it at all, but I'm just saying that you need to build a healthy relationship with social media. There's a difference between checking your emails and doing all that stuff because that stuff is for you. It's like you've received an email, you're replying. You've sent a text, you're replying. Like I check Facebook Messenger whenever, because that's just personal text messages that are coming to me. But it's the fact that social media is you putting energy into other people and what they're doing, what they're about, puts you in a state of lack, which makes you feel like that you're not worthy of things. And that was one thing that did come through that I was so strongly wanted to touch on, is that you are the fucking thing. You know, it's not something outside of you that's going to give you the thing. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up, is that everyone is looking for something outside of them to give them something to make them feel a certain way. It does not work like that. It is the reverse. You need to realize that you are the thing, and you put yourself in that good energy, that good vibrations. You put yourself in that nice state of knowing that you deserve it. You're worthy. You have faith in the universe that you will be provided for. You move with good intentions. You find out what tools make you feel a certain way and what sticks true to you, and you focus on that and you hone in on that, and then the universe does the rest. It's a crazy, crazy feeling when you can just watch things unfold. It's like magic. It just happens, bang, 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 and you're just like in this good vibration, and you're just like, wow, attract, attract, attract. You are the thing. Start there. You are the thing. That is the first thing in this process of developing a good relationship with yourself and feeling the best version of yourself, is knowing that the first thing is you are the thing. Jim Carrey has a quote. It's like, I wish everyone would become rich and famous to realize that it means absolutely nothing. But we all have this subconscious little voice, this little ego voice. It's like, when you get the partner, that's when you'll feel that. Or when you get the money, that's when you'll feel that. When you get the job, oh, yep. And then what happens is you get that. Then you realize it's not that. So then you move on to the next thing, and you get caught up in this ego trip. No, when I get that thing, that's when that's the thing that's going to get me out of the thing. It's like, get you out of what? Living life. The fact that you're here fucking breathing. Like, isn't that enough to be grateful for, that you actually are here on earth breathing? You're not in hospital. Your kids aren't in hospital. Your parents aren't in hospital. Your partner's not in hospital. You're here breathing because there's someone out there that's in hospital right now dying, and it's being grateful and appreciative of what you have in this moment. The universe provides always. Like, for me, faith to above is my fucking thing. Like, no matter what, how bad it looks, how am I going to get out of it? The ego will come in. It's like, how the fuck are you going to get out of this? Oh, this fucking hurts. Every single thing I've gone through, I've moved through. And every single thing that I've learnt from are the things that just felt so shit. The things that the most I've grown is in those trench moments when things are just fucking backs up against the wall. And I've just got to all I can do when my back's up against the wall is stick to my practices, knowing that sooner or later I'm going to bounce out of this, and I've already got the practices in place, and have faith knowing that this is all going to be a learning. Everything that happens in this world is an experience. We're humans. We're here to live a human experience and feel human things. We shouldn't be running away from pain and running towards pleasure. And you got to think about it. Everything in our life, we're doing that. We're running from pain towards pleasure, and we're looking for these things. where the pain still fucking hurts. Not going to lie. I thought if I just kept on this journey and kept sticking true that it's not going to hurt. And that wasn't I fucking wrong. Like, it still hurts. But there's a difference in when you have faith and you stay disciplined to your practices, is that it hurts, but you can see there's a part of you that knows that it's okay. And it's just this little sprinkle sometimes. If shit's falling down and fucking mountains are falling around you and everything's going wrong, and you know, you just got this little part of you knowing that it's okay, because every single thing that's ever happened, you've moved through. You know, what do you think? Do you think this is going to be the thing that you're not going to get through? It's like you've been here for what, 20, 30, 40, we've got some listeners that are 50 years, and you think now that this is a time that you're not going to be able to move through something. It's like, look at the previous data. You've moved through every single thing that you've ever been through. And I guarantee if I said to you, write down the 5 biggest things you've learned in this lifetime, they would be attached to those things that have made you feel those deep, deep, deep emotions. You know, I wouldn't be on here talking. I wouldn't have a platform to talk if I didn't go through the shit, you know. It's not all rainbows and fairies. Like, even in my life, there's still so much shit that goes on. And it's just like, oh, there we go again. And I'm just like, okay, cool. First thing I say to myself is when back's up against the wall and I'm going through some shit and the ego's got hold of me and my mind's racing 1,000 miles an hour. It doesn't matter whatever it is. It's irrelevant, whether it's relationships, friendships, business, money, family, whatever. It doesn't really matter what it is. First thing I say to myself is, all right, you're sticking true to your practices? And I work my way down the list. Or are you numbing yourself with these devices? How's porn going? You staying off it? Or you using it as a numbing device? Okay, cool. Phone, how's that going? You still sticking true to your midday? Okay, cool. Next thing, are you eating healthy? Yep. Are you meditating? Yep. Are you training? Yep. Cool. Stick true to that, and then you just got to have faith in knowing that you're going to move through it. And then the last one is, do you have faith? And sometimes still, with all this stuff I've moved through, gone to the jungle and living there for a week and doing ayahuasca and, you know, doing all these coaching courses and all this development and, you know, like, you know, all these journeys, all this spirituality stuff. It's funny because it just brought me back full circle to being human, you know, and just having faith. Because that spirituality stuff is an ego trip too. You know, it's like the people say, oh, you don't do Kundalini yoga. Oh, that must suck. Oh, you're not meditating on the mountaintop for 4 hours a day. Oh, yeah, that's probably, it's like there's a massive ego trip with spirituality in itself on social media too, like of people pretending that they are something when it's like, bruh, you're fucking human. Like, show people how to be human. Don't tell people that because they're not doing Kundalini yoga and they're not meditating for 4 hours on a mountaintop that they're not, you know, they don't have access to peace. It's like, that doesn't work like that. No matter what, you're going to be faced with shit. There's going to be people in this world that annoy you. There's going to be people in this world that don't fucking like you. You're not going to like people. You're going to have your issues. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have worries. You're going to have insecurities. We all fucking do, no matter who you are. And, you know, it's funny because more so the actors and the people that are in the limelight have more insecurities riddled in them. And you would think that it'd be the other way around. But it's all happening, you know, and it's all, the spirituality stuff can be an ego trip. I mean, I got caught in it. Like, I did the ayahuasca and I felt something that is beyond words. And I come back and tried to project that message. And that just burnt me because I'm like, no one sees this world the way I do. Everyone's too focused on fucking what's going on in their life. And if I can just stay true to me and just when I feel like the energy's there to project the message, I'll do it. Because this is effortless to me. I love this shit. And the right people will resonate. That just is like a magnet. People just gravitate toward you effortlessly. It's such a beautiful feeling. And I've learned to like stay in that nice flow. Because social media is like, see me, like me, love me, share me, fucking blah, 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 all that bullshit. So that for me, that was a bit of an ego trip that I went through. Until I realized that I just come to this realization that I'm fucking human. I'm still going to go out a couple nights a year and have a crack till early hours in the morning. I'm still going to eat a fucking cheeseburger and some chips and some donuts. I'm still going to, there'll be a time that I'll slip up and fucking jump back on porn again. You know, there'll be another day that I'm going to check social media before midday and it's going to annoy me. All those things are still going to happen. I accept it. I accept it. But I know that I can minimize those. That's what I've got control of, being able to minimize those things. So then I have 90% fucking peace, love, acceptance, happiness, fulfillment, good energy, good vibes, gratefulness, all those beautiful emotions. And that 10%, I'm happy to jump in the 10% because I'm like, well, I have to, because this shows me why the 90% is so good. If we're just all sitting here riding around on unicorns, smoking fairy dust and telling everyone how beautiful life is, like, what the fuck are we going to learn here anyway? We need to go through the shit. That's where we learn. All my stuff that I've learned is in the shit. So I know now if the universe wants to put me back in the trenches, that's beautiful. As much as I don't want to be here, as much as I might kick and scream, I do have access to sticking true to my tools and my practices that make me feel alive. And sooner or later, I'll come out and I'll look back on that part of me that I went through some sort of journey of feeling all this bullshit. And I'll look back and go, yeah, gotcha. That taught me a bit of patience. Or like, oh, look at that. Yeah, you were so attached to making it happen that way. But look how it turned out. Good job. I'm glad I let go when I did, you know. Take a big deep breath for me. Fuck. Wherever you are, look around. Just look around. You are the thing. Remember that. You are the thing. Promise. I promise you with all I have, you are the thing. Find that good energy. Find what works for you. You know the difference. You know deep, deep, deep down in your soul, when you do something that's not aligned with your truth, that little thing comes through of like, you shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't align with you. You know what that feels like. And it comes up. It's that little voice. See that. Know what it is that doesn't make you feel alive and focus on the things that make you feel alive. If you're attached to your phone, get the fuck off it. Put disciplines in place. I don't check it till midday and I don't check it after 7:30. And then take action. And don't just take action for 2 fucking days and then go, oh, didn't work. Oh, must be me. It's like, yeah, it is you, because you're not sticking to the fucking practices. You're not sticking to your, like, you know what works for you. You know, I know when I fucking watch porn, I just feel fucking not me after. And I can tell myself all these stories like, nah, it's fine, who cares? You know, you're not hurting anyone, you're not spending money. You know, it's for free, you know, whatever. But it's like, nah, bruh, you know what's healthy. Do I eat shit? Do I eat healthy? And you know what? I still fucking, I'm a fat boy at heart. Me and Janae had this chat the other night. I'm the 50% of the reason that I run is because I love food. And I know that if I get a mad run in, I get to eat more. True story. No bullshit. Fat kid at heart. Thanks, Mum. Probably all the salt and vinegar chips I used to pump when I was a kid. But I know if I keep it 90-10, I'm good. I know where I can, I've learnt how far I can push it. You know, I go clean for about 4 days, get cardio in, stay disciplined, train 4 or 5 days, and then I know I can treat myself with like a burger and chips or whatever. You know what I mean? Shout out to Fish. Sponsored, unsponsored. And then I know the next day I wake up and I'm like, when I have the burger and chips or whatever, then I tell myself, well, fuck, you're eating this, bra, so tomorrow we're going to go hard. Whether it's a river run, we're going to train and do cardio, whatever. So it's like I treat myself with a little bit of cheeky food, but then the next day I'm going to go hard. And I burn it off. and then I'm good to go. And then I'm excited to eat clean again for a couple of days. You know what I mean? But you've got to go through that process of knowing what works for you. You know, that works for me. It might not work for you. I don't know what will work for you. But you've got to take action to know that you go on that journey, you know, like, because that's the thing. It's not the diet, it's not all the practices. You know, it's sticking true to knowing what works for you. Because when you can stick true to that, you start to believe in yourself. You know, I did probably touch on the back end of the reel I did the other day of like, do the work. I didn't realize how fucking much that popped off until that Arvo. I jumped on socials and I was like, fuck me dead. There was so many shares and likes. Shout out to everyone that shared and liked it and commented and shared the love. I just come off this. I did the river run 2 weeks ago with the ESR club and finished it and it felt really good. I was like, mad. I love running like that, you know. And I was like, do 2 laps then. I was like, oh. So all week last week I was making up 1,000 excuses and then Sunday come and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. Smashed out 2 laps. No rest. Hour and 2 minutes it took me to run 13 Ks, I think it was. 13 Ks, yeah. Fucking head noise the whole way. Stop. Your legs are sore. You're going to be tired. All that bullshit. Because that voice is always going to come up. And I kept doing it. And then I felt so accomplished after doing it because I knew it was going to hurt. I knew I had to access a part of me I had to go real deep and just know that I was going to be okay. And knowing that every time you put yourself in that position to do something like that, you're going to learn something about yourself. And what I learned about myself is that I can do it. So when I stick to my practices and I get good momentum and discipline, I build confidence. And confidence is the key factor in knowing that you are the thing. Remember when I said, you are the thing? When you can build discipline and stay consistent with your practices, you start to know that you are confident and capable of achieving much more than that. And that's when the universe starts kicking into gear. That's when the universe starts providing things and things start arriving on your doorstep. And you're just like, holy fuck, look at this. It's such a beautiful thing. I get to play around with this. And because that's the thing, we can't control the outside. You can't control other people, the way your job's going to go, the way work's going to be. Like, you know, all you can do is put yourself in the best energy possible, accept that you're going to still put in the shit. That's the big part. And allow yourself to stay on top of your game as much as possible. But when you aren't on your game, don't feed, because the ego comes in of like, oh, see, told you, bro. You could only last 2 days without porn. See, you're lazy. You can't get up and train. You're going to have those days you're going to miss the mark. It's all good. Tomorrow's a new day. Like me today, like yesterday with the socials. Checked it at 10 a.m., bit rusty for a couple of hours because I felt like shit, but then I knew the next day I was like, no. And then today, haven't checked it till midday because I know I'll get back on that building block. You got to jump back on the horse. You're going to get thrown off it all the time. Just keep getting back on. Keep moving. Take action. Because one thing I will say to wrap this bad boy up, because I like these cheeky half-hour sessions, my vision, and it's been with me for like, probably since I stepped foot on this development journey, maybe 3 years or so, is that what I always envision is that I'm sitting on a park bench and the universe is sitting next to me. I don't know what it looks like. It's just like an energy. And what it is I'm sitting there and I'm like moping and, you know, carrying on. They said this, she said that, this is like this, I want this to be like that, blah, blah, blah. And the universe is like, I hear you, bro. And the universe turns around and says, look, if you want to stay on the park bench and sit here and just mope, then I have to sit with you. I'm sorry, I've got nothing. Do that. We'll sit here for as long as we're going to sit here. But if you want to move and take a little bit of action, we'll come with you and move. The universe doesn't move until you move. That's why I say you are the fucking thing. When you realize you're the thing and you start moving because you are the thing, then the universe will reflect that energy. It's all vibration and frequency, baby. You get in that nice vibration, the universe will attract that. You're in a shit vibration, like the universe is going to give you anything. And then that's what happens. You get desperate. And then when you start to scratch and claw for all these things and you don't get them, that's when you move to the numbing devices. Well, my job's fucking shit. My life is shit. Well, I'm just going to watch porn and eat shit and check social media all day. Of course you're going to do that because you're trying to find something outside of you to make you the thing. You are the thing. Please start there. Because if you don't move, take action, the universe can't do anything. I'm sorry. Find your practices. Find what's true to you. Build blocks daily and keep it small. Cool. Today I ticked 3 out of 4 of the things that I know that make me feel a certain way. I miss the mark on social media, but that's fine. Tomorrow's a new day. Let's try and get all 4. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Bang. Oh, wow. Look at all these things happening. Bang, bang, bang. And then you oh my God, life is so great. It was like, what's changed? You didn't get the $1 million. You didn't get the new job. You haven't got the new car. It's funny that when you start to realize you are the thing, you start to realize that all these things come to you effortlessly, and whether they come to you or not, it actually really doesn't even matter because I'm fucking happy anyway. You know what I mean? Fuck, that was good. Thank you for listening. Episode 46. Over and out.